How's it going tonight, everybody? This is your update video for Gregtech 603.32 and 33. There was a bug fix that came out that I waited on. This one basically adds your tanks and drains, things like that. But there's one really important thing I wanted to get into first, and that is the burning boxes will now catch these wooden things on fire, which causes issues. And the reason why I know that is because you'll notice I'm missing a whole lot of wooden pipe. I actually had a chest here, had a bunch of palladium in it was done, and all that palladium is now gone. So I wanted to do a little bit of testing with this to show you how dangerous it is. So let's fire this one up, and you'll see I actually hit the firebox and it spawned fire right in front immediately. And that's burning up everything around it. Not sure why those two so long have survived, but you'll see that firebox is indeed burning. These, like I said, I don't know why they didn't burn. But from what Greg says, if they're completely surrounded like this, there should not be an issue of them burning. So we're going to try this and see how it works. It looks like it has to be the bottom layer, because these are definitely not burning and they're up there. Because what we were talking about was these boxes for ovens. So I'm going to need to, test that as well. But it gets a little expensive burning up these reinforced chests. But just be real careful if you have wooden pipes around burning boxes, that they will burn. I think I'm going to be changing a lot of my pipes out. Also, I forgot to show last time that the removal spray does definitely now work on chests, so you can unpaint them. So that was definitely fixed last time. Alright, so first thing is output of machines with randomized outputs being placed into the wrong slots, causing the machines to stop instantly once that slot is filled. So basically, like the sluice here, it was just putting it into the first available slot rather than the slot that it actually shows for the recipe, and then that would cause it to not be able to do the next recipe. So that has been fixed. Canvas covers not working with blocks that have an ID of greater than or equal to 2048 has been fixed. A large issue caused by the rewrite of a utility function. It caused the distillation tower to output all the fluids to the bottom, and that was fixed. These are the updates for 33, by the way. Let's see. Sealed wood not being craftable without the generic wood planks. That was the main thing that I was waiting on. Found that in the Gregtech 6 IC2 experimental live stream this week. Grab these. Multi-block tank main valve now have distinct textures to make it easier to determine what the front is. That's for the wooden tank. And drains now work horizontally even if there are Gregtech or vanilla slabs or stairs in front of them, if they're placed logically. And added, the handsaw can now recycle some wood vanilla things into wood plates. So I don't have a handsaw. I actually use my chainsaw. And since it's supposed to be an upgrade to it, let's try it. So that doesn't do it. Let's just make a saw real quick and see if that does it. I think it's like that. And now I just need a stick. Daggone it. I got a stick in my bag. Got the right amount of wood out of there. There we go. We got a stick. Always got a random stick somewhere. So let's see. Will this give us... Nope. That still does that. So I wonder what things it can recycle. Is it a crafting thing? Got plenty of recipes in here for stuff, but I don't know what it would recycle other than maybe bookcases. He didn't add a tooltip. Solar knife, habitats, faster on planks. So I have no idea what it is he added that to, and that thing's used to craft a million things. So I have to ask him exactly what it is it's supposed to get them back out of. Let's try doing it this way. Nope, most definitely ain't that either. So, something does it. Who knows what? He didn't add a tool, right? There's not a handsaw. Okay, just want to make sure, because that's something Greg would do, just add a different saw. And right there's the reason why I can't wait to replace frickin' all these tanks with Gregtech tanks. Because of this stupid railcraft bug right here. Making my tanks unform. And while we're talking about bugs, be careful with creosote or fuel or anything like that. I had to shut this pipe off because liquid burning boxes are not saving their data, and I actually lost all of my creosote. I didn't have a whole lot saved at the time because I've been burning it, but I lost a lot of it from logging in and logging out and people coming by when I wasn't here, and it just filling it over and over and over. So be careful with that. Alright, so I'm going to get these planks made that I need here, and I'm going to go down to... Alright, why are those not washing? Maybe there's not enough in there. Let's let it fill again. Yeah, it looks like we used it all up. Alright, so let's go down here and look at this long changelog 432. So, fixed issue of full block pipes cover rendering. So, like putting covers on actual full block pipes, they were kind of bugging out. So now they're not supposed to be. Let me grab a piece of paper here because that makes a cover. And this is a full block here. So looks nice, doesn't bug out. You don't see the wood texture trying to pop out, which I think is what it was doing. Not positive. Yeah, I still ain't got enough in there. Let's see. Germanium and serum now have an assigned color and are therefore visible in any eye. I thought they were visible before. But maybe not. So there's your germanium stuff. And there is serum. Let's see. Electric tools not using the proper handling. This was an awesome fix. I'm glad about this one very, very much, because there was a problem. You couldn't make drills out of gems. So you couldn't make like a diamond drill. This had no recipe. Now there is one. And you now use the actual galvanized aluminum or stainless steel for the casing instead of the material this was made out of, because you couldn't make curved gem plates, which was messing that up. So now the vibranium drill I was wanting to make, I can actually make. Another thing that I noticed is for these kinds you need a screw, and this screw can only be made, or the bolts here come from a rod, and you can cut that in the cutter, but to actually get the rod itself, you have to hand cut a flawless or an exquisite or a legendary. There's no way of getting it out of regular gems. There's no cutting recipes here, so it's just hand cutting with a saw and a file to get it. So I need to do that to get those rods. So my vibranium is still going to be a little bit further off, because I only have regular vibranium. I don't have legendary or exquisite yet, so that's still going to be a bit of an issue, but I can make other gem ones now at least. Oh, wait a minute, you can't make, never mind, can't. I was just thinking when I seen that in my thing, you can use a regular gem to make one emerald rod, so you lose half of it by doing so. Because I seen this in here, I was thinking, well, wait a minute, if I have that in there, I must be able to, wait a minute, is that what I just said? Let's look this back up again. Rod, it's a saw, not a hammer, so I can use my chainsaw. There's my rod, and then I can cut that into two of these, and then these I can throw in the lathe, and that'll make my screws. So now I'll be able to make a green sapphire drill. Alright, so wooden pipes being semi-fireproof, and sealed wood and ironwood stuff, also other things such as the Gregtech reinforced chest is fixed, and that's what we were talking about, that they're not fireproof anymore. The other thing is the distillation tower. Solid outputs are now tiny dust, not full dust. I'll run out here real quick. This will give my creosote time to build back up. But now I'm going to have tiny dust coming out of it instead of full dust, which I really see as a good nerf. I think I talked about this a little while ago, because I was getting butt tons of stuff out of here. And I really need to test this too, by the way, because I have this nice wooden bridge and all these fences. I want to make sure this isn't going to burn up, hopefully. But, you know, I haven't taken any of the wax out of here. I got 26 stacks of wax, 30 things of plastic, and I did take a little bit of plastic out of there, and that was from just one run of oil through here, so one drum. Is this thing still filling? Yes, it is. That is one heck of an oil deposit. But, so that was fixed. You're going to have tiny piles out of there instead of regular ones, but I really don't see it as being a problem. Another thing that's coming in the next one is the distillery for fuel and plastic recipes are being removed. So don't plan on doing, where the hell is it? Nitro fuel oil cell. Trying to get actually the Gregtech fuel here. That's rocket fuel. That's Buildcraft. That's nitro. There it is. So this recipe here is going to be removed in the next update. So don't plan on making one of those, or if you already have, it's going to be taken out. So go ahead and make you a distillation tower. They're not really that bad. They're so easy, Crazy has one. And Crazy can't stand to make stainless steel, and she made enough. Let's see. Added some more glue support in form of a glue bottle. I haven't looked this up yet, so let's check this out. So there's a glue bottle. Do not eat. It does give you a food of 1 and a saturation of 0.1. But you can now, slime balls will give you latex and glue as they have, and sticky resin will give you latex and glue as well, and different propolises. Jellyfish will just give you glue, but jellyfish can be crafted into a slime ball, so you'd actually be better off to do the crafting in the slime ball and then centrifuge it that way. And then glue can be used for sticky dynamite in a bath can to make your glue bottle there. And let's see. Then you also have your recipe to make leads with the glue bottle. You can use it to make sticky pistons, so you don't have to use slime balls for those things, so that's awful nice. And let's see. Added the wooden tank, which is what I'm hoping to get built here. But I'll go ahead and craft up the sides. If I don't get enough in there to do this, I did build it this weekend in the Bear's Den. Oh, I did that wrong. It's saw, hammer, soft hammer. Okay. So it's only like this. And I did not say file. Soft hammer. And saw. And there's the wooden wall. That's what this is built out of. You'll need 26 of these all together. I'll go ahead and make up a few of them. And then the other thing you're going to need is the actual valve. And on the Bear's Den GT6 this weekend, as I was trying to get out, we tested this a bit. And up more than one valve or it will not properly form. That was the main thing we were testing. It inputs through the top just fine without a valve. It does work on gravity, so things like helium in here, you'd have to have the valve on the top rather than the bottom. But for regular ones, it would just be built with the valve on the bottom. Let's see if we have enough creosote in here that we can get this done. Let's go ahead and throw this in here. Let's see what we get out here. Yeah, we're not going to get it done. But basically, I'll make a multi-block video as usual for this. But you're going to build it something like this. And then if these were the wooden walls, it would just be it's my chainsaw. It would just be built like this. It's a 3x3 only. He hasn't, at least as of now, made a bigger one, but that would be your structure. Input through the top, does not auto input. You have to pipe it in and auto inputs out of the bottom. They can be stacked though. One issue that people are complaining about at the moment though is the fact that you can't tell the amount that's in them if they're stacked. You can only tell how much is in them one at a time. You can use a magnifying glass to tell their content. And since I can't get it built, I can't show you that, but you just click on it, it tells you down in chat how much it has. And when I do the multi-block build, I'll test it out with like a fluid meter and things like that, which should tell you how much is in the bottom one. But that was added. Now let's go through the whole list of things he put in a changelog here. So, wooden tank, unlike Railcraft one, it's not made out of rocks that look like wood, but still have to be mined with a pickaxe. And it won't generate water out of nothing. That's what the drain cover is for. Shape is a hollow 3x3x3 of wood walls with the main block centered on a side, just like the Gregtech Coke oven. Those are particularly made of any kind of steel. It does not have a GUI, just so you know. Magnifying glass might help if you want to see exact amounts. It holds 432,000 liters or 432 buckets. So 16 buckets per block, similar to a Buildcraft tank. It is made of sealed wood and a bit of steel to keep it in place like a large barrel. There are temperature limitations to the tank though, so don't burn it up with lava or something. It's actually 500 Kelvin is what it can handle. Let's see. It auto emits fluid towards the main block if the gravity doesn't work against it. That's what I was talking about like helium. Said auto emit might be useful if you want to have a line or a tower of tanks with the same fluid. Use magnifying glass to see what is inside. I don't want too much graphics issues when rendering fluids. You could stack those tanks on top of each other with the main valve block bottom center, similar to Buildcraft tanks. Don't try to store any kind of steam inside. It will be voided. Steam isn't supposed to be stored, and I will proceed that way with all Gregtech tanks. So, as I've tried telling people over and over again, it does not make sense to try to store steam. Steam should turn into water. As it is made of wood, it will of course catch fire next to stuff like burning boxes. Then there is also metal tanks, which I have not made any of these yet, but they are very similar in structure and workings to the wooden one. Shape is a hollow 3x3 of stainless steel, tungsten steel, or tungsten walls, with a main block centered on a side, just like the Gregtech Coke oven. If and when he adds larger ones, they will be made of more robust, expensive tank walls. Those tanks have other temperature limitations and larger fluid capacities than the wooden one, but are otherwise identical. So let's look these up. And let's try this. Tank. See if it shows up that way. Oh, wait a minute. What are these called? Walls. So let's look up wall. And I definitely do not see. Oh, wait a minute. Stainless steel wall right there. So that's how it's made. So you're going to need 26 of these. And then that is your valve. Can store 1,728,000 liters or 1,728 buckets. It can do 1943K heat. Then you have your tungsten steel, which is going to be the same exact thing. And same thing for it. It can do 2870 Kelvin. And then tungsten, same thing. And it can do 3695 Kelvin. And let's see. This one holds 6,912 buckets. This one holds 6,912 buckets. So these two hold the same, just this one has a higher temperature. Alright, and then there's also the drain, which I think I skipped over accidentally. So let's go ahead and make one of these. And wrench, they're very easy to make, just steel rods and a wrench, and that gives you your drain. Collects fluid blocks if not against gravity. Collects rainwater, not in deserts or cold areas. Mesas are considered deserts, so they will not work either. And you have to have at least a large wooden pipe or larger, capacity wise. So let's look up pipe here. And if we go to the wooden pipe, you can see it does 1200. It needs a capacity of at least 1000, so it can hold one bucket. It's worth in the pipe. So anything above 1,000 liter, it can handle. So you'd have to use, a regular copper fluid pipe, regular aluminum, regular bronze, regular invar, regular steel, small HLS steel, so on and so forth. So let's go grab some pipes out of my box here. And this will be the last thing we do for today. This will be, it will suck up oil. If your pipe can handle it, it should probably also suck up lava. But remember, you have to be under it for it to do so. It's not going to It's not a pump. So if you can get underneath the lava or underneath the oil and your pipe can handle it, you should be able to do so. We'll come down here, place a couple pipes, and we'll put the drain on top, and you'll see it start sucking in the water blocks right there, and that's filling in this pipe. So that's how your drain works. You got to have it under the source block there. And like it said in the changelog, it can work as a rain collector. So if you wanted to set up one of these with one of them wooden barrels for a rain tank, you can do so. But it's only going to do it like when it rains, not like the Railcraft one that'll just suck in water all the time. This one only works when weather equals true. So if you're somebody that likes to sleep a whole lot so it never rains, you're not going to get water that way. So that way you might want to set it up like that. And like I said, no deserts, no cold areas for the rain collection. I do believe that is it. Let's see. Drain cover. In case of pipes, it also works when the pipes are not wrench connected to the cover side, because that would look ugly. It can collect rain horizontally as well if there is a solid floor in front of it. The drain can collect fluid source blocks too, if not against gravity. Horizontally always works. If you use it on a pipe, then make sure the pipe is large enough to hold an entire block of that fluid. It cannot suck partial fluids because that would be waste. Stuff from one version later, drains now work horizontally even if there are Gregtech or vanilla slaps. And we already went over that. So that is a changelog for this week. Sorry it was a little bit late. We had Thanksgiving here in America this week, and the update came out right on Thanksgiving. And so some things got pushed back just a little bit. We'll be back next week with the next update changelog as quickly as we can get it out. And like I said, I'll do a multi-block build of it. If you notice, I've got my centrifuge in my inventory, so I'll be doing a multi-block build of it tonight. So I'll be looking for that if you'd like to see it built. If you didn't see me actually build it in my test building of it. So, as usual, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. You can leave me a comment or message. You can go to Greg's IRC and ask him directly, or you can go to the IC2 forums Gregtech post and talk to him about it there as well, or me. Best way of getting a hold of me is just to leave me a comment, and I will answer the question as best I can, or I will forward the question on to Greg and let you know what the answer is. Have a good one, and I will see you next time.